Welcome, everyone, to our winter webcast. This is the day that should have been our 2021 winter concert. My name is Kurt Ebersole, and I am honored to serve as the conductor and music director of this amazing adult wind ensemble. The pandemic drags on, but we are seeing light at the tunnel. As we did in November, we are reaching out to you today, our loyal audience, to share what we have been doing during this time. Think of this webcast as a glimpse of the Westchester Symphonic winds behind the COVID curtain. We've been active as individual musicians and as community-minded members of our ensemble, and we are eager to share our musical activities and plans for the spring and summer. This community band, now in its 33rd season, is made up of music educators, attorneys, doctors, and more, and represents professional caliber players in their 20s to their 80s. We have been recognized at national conventions and with 3 American Prize Awards. It's our nature to move forward, even during these difficult days. We are also eager for this pandemic to be over. None of us has a clear idea yet of the steps that will get us all back to normal. But we know the future is brighter now with the approval of 3 vaccines here in the United States. Today's webcast is a combination of recorded performances and 2 live interviews, and a look at past successes and a look toward the future. We're going to ask that you please remember that this is a shoestring, zero-budget production. So if we encounter some technical glitches along the way this afternoon, we ask for your indulgence ahead of time. If you're using a computer to watch right now, we recommend using the Chrome browser. On a mobile device, consider watching directly in the YouTube app. Please know that this webcast will be archived on our YouTube channel for future viewing and sharing. And if you'd like to finish ironing the laundry or emptying the dishwasher, please go ahead. We hope you'll keep us on in the background. So here we go with our first member performance. To open our webcast, here is a performance by WSW members and guests at the Division Street Grill in Peekskill. We're grateful to owner Arnie Paglia for inviting us into the space while the restaurant was closed for this rehearsal and taping. The players include Ben Akrish, Stan Serafin, Michael Lukey, Austin Day, Uma Kirkala, Chris Carbone, and Chris Larson. Here is Crescent City by Nat McIntosh. We are extremely proud of our roster of over 100 guest artists who have performed with us since 2008. The pushpins on this map represent a magnificent array of guest conductors and guest soloists from across our nation, including Travis Cross from UCLA, Christopher Creviston from Arizona State University, Emily Trinan from University of Minnesota, Albert Wynn from University of Memphis, Robert Ambrose from Georgia State University, Mallory Thompson and Steve Cohen from Northwestern University, Don Batchelder from the Stanford Symphony, and many local conductors and soloists from the West Point Band and around the tri-state area. 3 years ago, we invited Dr. Jack Stamp, acclaimed composer and conductor from the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, to join us. This was our 30th anniversary gala concert, and Jack conducted a work you're just hearing. He had just completed it at the time, titled Prayers for a Troubled Nation. This work is at once both simple and majestic in its beauty, featuring choirs of percussion, woodwinds, and brass. We were so pleased to have Jack here with us in Tarrytown in May of 2018, and I'm thrilled that he could join us today. So please welcome our first guest, Dr. Jack Stamp.
Hello, Kurt.
Hello, Jack. It's so good to have you with us today.
It's great to be here in support of the Westchester Symphonic Winds. I appreciate the invitation.
Oh, we so appreciate it, and it's great to have you here. You know, beyond your work as a composer and conductor, you have been an advocate for a long time for lifelong learning, especially for musicians. Could you tell us a little bit about that work?
Well, I appreciate that, Kurt. Yes, what I feel like that the successful music educator tries to develop lifelong learners. I mean, we're not always successful, but that's what we want to do. And not just teach, in our case, the activity of band, but teach them to love music through performance in band. And I've always seen that as a goal. You know, the trophies you win and the accolades you personally get are not your legacy. Your legacy are your students. And what I find in the community band, for lack of a better all-encompassing term, in the community band, you find these lifelong learners, and basically the fruition of music education coming to life in this group. I mean, you said yourself, from 20s to their 80s, these people who play in your band. So the idea of lifelong learners. And the thing is, I told you before, I'm a real baseball fan. In fact, exhibition started today, and I'm with you instead of watching baseball. I just want you to know that.
We appreciate that, Jack.
Yeah, that's my dedication to you, Kurt. But seriously, I love to play baseball, and I used to go to the Twins fantasy camp. But, you know, I'm getting older. My knees aren't as good. My arm's not as good. But I tell you what I can do. I can go downstairs and play my snare drum and play my drum set and participate in my brass band that I play in virtually now until the pandemic's over. And I'm still able to do that. You know, when your knees go out and you can't play basketball or tennis anymore, you can still play. And one of the beauties of the Westchester Symphonic Winds is that this is a cut above your basic community band. And I'm not being disparaging to any community band, but it's more than a social activity for your players. It is, they pursue musical excellence. Part of that is your leadership, of course, but that they pursue musical excellence. And I feel like their high school band directors probably, if they're not still alive, are looking down on them, being very proud about their current participation.
Well, I agree with all that. And in reflection, you know, I've been a community band member my entire life. I was the clarinetist in the North Shore Band back in the 80s. Then I played in the Ridgewood Concert Band, now the New Jersey Wind Symphony. And then for many summers, I played in the Teaneck Community Band and the Bronxville Summer Band. And I played with this group, the Hudson Valley Wind Symphony, that's first name during its first season back in 1989 to 1990. And now I've been with WSW this is going to be my 13th year. So community band has been a great part of my life, and working with adults and seeing this kind of music in their lives and seeing it propagate is really important to me.
Well, I also think the community band in general, and certainly WSW, they serve a purpose. They bring culture to the community. I mean, maybe a person can't afford to take the train into the city and hear the New York Philharmonic play, but they can get quality musical culture from coming to one of your concerts.
Yeah, that's true. We do offer, I'd say, a reasonable ticket price. and that's just another reason we're just so eager to come back live. It's really killing us to be sitting here at home and be doing all these things, looking at screens. But I know my players are really excited about getting back, and we're starting to make plans to do that.
Excellent.
Can you tell us about some of the other relevant ensembles you've conducted? I know you conducted the Keystone Ensemble.
The Keystone Ensemble is fairly unique. It was an adult band. And what's unique about it is that they were all members, had been either faculty members, former faculty members, or students at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, where I taught. And they would come back on their dime. They were not paid to play. They'd come back because they wanted to sit next to their teachers and their classmates and play. And we would basically send out the music, rehearse on a Friday night, and then record a CD on Saturday, Sunday. And it was a recording band because they came from all parts of the country, because they certainly didn't live in the college town anymore. And they came from all parts of the country to, again, because of their love of music and their love of each other, they'd come back and play and made quite a few recordings that are, I would say, even if I am bragging, pretty high quality.
Oh yeah, they are amazing recordings, and you got to record a number of your own compositions on those CDs too.
I did, and that was, I didn't want to force feed them, but that's how it started, because I didn't want to make my own students record my music. So I got alumni to agree to record it and faculty to agree to record it.
You mentioned Pastime. That was one of the first pieces that this group, that the Wind Symphony, played. That was your composition, and we enjoyed that piece so much. And that Keystone recording is the first one that I heard.
Right. Well, Pastime is about baseball, and of course, that's my second love to music. So it was a nice combination. It was fun to write.
Yeah, it was really interesting with all the numbers and all the data and all the tributes that you included in that. It's a great piece. So let's talk a minute about today's fundraiser. You've made an extremely kind offer for us today. So if you would, can you tell us what you've offered to contribute to the blind auction that we're running right now?
Well, I know you call it an offer and a kind offer. I call it a reaction. And the reason I say that is people will come up to you and say, as a composer, and say, "You are so talented. I don't know how you do that." And though I'm flattered by that, what I want to say to them is talent has nothing to do with it. It really doesn't take talent to be a composer. In fact, there's a great book called Talent is Never Enough by John Maxwell, a business book that pertains to music as well. But point being, composition is maybe 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. If you have a musical inkling, musical knowledge, and a desire, what you have to do is develop what's called craft. And if you can develop craft, that's what David Diamond called the mechanics of composition. If you can develop craft, you could write music. There's no secret. It's no secret God-given gift. Now, I believe Beethoven and those people maybe because they were superhuman. But to us regular people, it just takes hard work. And I thought, well, why not give that opportunity then to maybe some musicians in the Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow area to pursue their compositional desires and not be considered or be thwarted by the ideas I can't compose. I believe anybody can compose with the desire and the musical knowledge.
Well, it sounds like a great offer. And so what we're doing today is that you've offered 4 one-hour virtual Zoom lessons we're doing this as a blind audition, a blind auction. I'm so used to saying blind audition, a blind auction, which means that no one sees any other bids and we don't see numbers going up. You just bid above at the minimum or above the minimum. And then we're just going to take the top 4 amounts at the end of the hour. If you are watching and listening right now, you can visit our website, www.westchestersymphonic.org, for the details and the link to place your bid. And as I said, we're going to continue to do that during the hour. At the end of the hour, we'll announce the winners. Any other relevant ideas for?
Well, I wanted to say to the people that may bid, I'd like to say, you might be a high school band director. Well, maybe you just want to know how to arrange for marching band. That's fine with me. I've done that, obviously. Or I want to arrange for jazz band. I could done that too. Or, I know that your music, Jack, has a lot of fugues in it. Well, I bet I could teach you to write a fugue in that hour lesson. The system for writing a fugue. Again, it's a system. It's not divine inspiration. So I think, however the bidder wants to structure their lesson is fine with me. They're buying the lesson, so I want it to fit their needs. So I'm happy to do whatever they want. And I just say, this is really a win-win-win situation, in that the bid helps arts in the Tarrytown Sleepy Hollow area, because Tarrytown Music Hall will be supported by this, along with the Westchester Symphonic Winds. And also, I know you're going to talk about this later, the food pantry gets help. So you're helping arts in your community, you're helping disadvantaged people in your community, and you may just learn something about composition.
Exactly. And you're right. I am going to be talking about that in just a little bit. So again, everybody, if you'd like to place a bid, please go to our website again, www.westchestersymphonic.org, and you'll see the link to be able to place your bid. Thank you very, very much. And we'll see you in a little bit later, Jack.
I'll look forward to it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Take care.
Our ensemble is very diverse, not only within the ranks of the many professions represented, but also by the community of professional musicians who play with us every week. True, we're made up of wind and percussion players, but there are also keyboardists, guitarists, conductors, arrangers, and composers among our ranks. Today, we're very happy to feature the premiere of a new work by our WSW string bassist, Rich Dashnaw. And here he is to introduce his composition.
Hello, everybody. Let me give you a little bit of background on my piece. I've always been moved by the Maurice Durflan Ola J-Lo choral settings of Ubi Caritas et Amor. And for this piece, I focused on these 2 words from the text, mente divide amor, which means divided in mind. So to that end, I created my own theme to go with and against the original chant melody. I used permutations in both themes to act as foundation and melody lines that interact in different ways. Upper range in the piccolo, low range in the alto flute, staccato backgrounds with simultaneous legato melody lines, and a few other compositional devices. Thanks to Janice, Marianne, Barbara, Marge, and Debbie for playing, and to Debbie for pulling the audio together. Thanks and enjoy.
Beautifully written and beautifully performed. Thank you to the players for assembling this performance virtually. We know it's not easy playing alone and imagining the other players are there with you. Before I go on, I just want to mention that we're already into double digits with numbers of bids, and we have lots of bids above the minimum, and we even have some people bidding twice, raising their initial bid in order to help guarantee that they may win one of the 4 spots with Jack, and we appreciate that. We hope you'll keep those coming. And I know that I promised that this is a low budget production today. We don't have a bank of phone operators like PBS. We don't even have a crawler at the bottom of the screen totaling current contributions. But I want to take a moment to remind you that we are encouraging donations today, and that 30% of the proceeds from donations will be passed on to the Tarrytown Music Hall and the Community Food Pantry of Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown. All donations are tax deductible, as we are a 501c3 organization. Use the link on our website at www.westchestersymphonic.wins to make a donation. That's the same site as to make a bid on our blind auction. And you can make a donation through PayPal, or you can get our P.O. Box address to be able to send a check. So let's take a look at the first of our 2 beneficiaries with whom we are sharing the proceeds from today's event. Okay, I'm joined now by Bjorn Olson, the executive director at the Music Hall, our home. It's so great to have you here, Bjorn. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to spend a little time talking with us.
Well, thank you. It's nice to get a break in the snow shoveling.
So the Music Hall is our home, and we value being able to rehearse and perform there. And as we're describing today, we're going to be donating 15% of any donations that we gain from this webcast to the Music Hall. We value the space, we value the interaction with you and Karina and the whole staff. So we want to look at what is happening these days and what's happening with the future. So the first thing I was going to ask you is, how is the Music Hall adapting for the future? What have you gained?
Well, I mean, obviously, we all have to get through this long, dreary tunnel. We're still here, and we hope that sometime by next fall we're going to be back to something like normal again, if everybody gets their shots and so forth. But we're also learning new tricks. I think the streaming capabilities that we have added to the Music Hall is something that's going to be maybe part of the mix in the future. I think also what we've learned that's actually very encouraging is that from everybody we talk to, and from what I experienced myself, the best live stream in the world can't hold a candle to a live show. So there's really no substitute for real people performing in real time for other real people. And boy, do we miss everyone in the theater. I have a classical background myself, so I have an extra soft spot for the winds. And I love being there on Monday nights when you rehearse, and just, even out in the parking lot, I can hear the tubas vibrating the entire place. So can't wait to see everybody live, but we are so grateful that you are willing to share some of your proceeds with us. We will put any money we get to good use.
Well, we're happy to do it, and we're glad that we can do it. Thanks for spending the time with us today, Bjorn.
All right, you're welcome, and have a great concert.
Thank you. Thanks, Bjorn. We will see him later as a featured soloist in one of our most memorable performances from May of 2019. Next, we have a joyous percussion performance that was just recorded this past week on the stage at Tarrytown Music Hall, with masks and social distancing, of course. This features Will Marinelli xylophone, with marimbists Nate Brewster and Chris Larson, and Mark Dodge on drum set. Cross Corners by the eminent 20th century xylophonist and pedagogue George Hamilton Green is written in the style of a foxtrot. A classic dance of the early 20th century, the foxtrot is characterized by long, smooth, and flowing languid movements across the dance floor. Although similar in nature to a waltz, the key difference lies in its 4/4 time signature. This arrangement by Nate Brewster is loosely based on a recording from the Eastman Marimba Band's 1976 album, Nola. That was great. Thank you, Will and company. We just spoke about the music hall. Now we want to share some background information about today's second beneficiary organization. Joining us now is Rochelle Gebler from the Community Food Pantry of Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown. It's wonderful to have you here today, Rochelle.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. As we talked about, 15% of our proceeds from today are going to go to your organization. So could you please tell us a little bit about the food bank and how these proceeds will benefit your organization?
Absolutely. And first, thank you so much for choosing us as one of your donor organizations. We really appreciate that. So the Community Food Pantry has been around since 2009. And we really started as an initiative of another organization called Kids Club of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow. And we had a one-time distribution and then realized that there was a great need in our community. And so we moved that to every month. We serve residents of Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown. And before the pandemic, we had an average of 275 families who would come to our pantry each month during our once a month distribution. And then once the pandemic started, there was a huge increase in need, of course. And so we changed our processes to 2 distributions a month. And we now serve an average of 1,000 families each month. And we spend about $30,000 just on the food. And then, that food includes a bag of non-perishables that we give to each family, just some staples to kind of get them through. The first distribution each month, we also give out fresh produce. And then the second distribution of each month, because we don't have the produce, we give out gift certificates to Seatown so that people can go and buy exactly what they need.
Websites that our viewers might visit your site if they wanted to make an additional contribution or volunteer?
We do. We do have a website. It's Community Food Pantry, SHTT for Sleepy Hollow Tarrytown.org. And there's information there if people want to donate actual food, if they want to donate funds, if they want to volunteer. All of that information is on our website.
Tremendous. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and all the best to you and your organization.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the concert. All right.
Thank you, Rochelle. Our saxophone section always comes up with creative outlets for their instrumental mastery. Here now is Tom Sweezy, Jessica Ailman, David Church, and Dan Chiplock, along with Mark Dodge, performing the inimitable Sweet Georgia Brown. George Friedrich Handel's most famous oratorio, The Messiah, is often performed at Christmas time. But its most famous chorus, the Hallelujah Chorus, was actually written for the Easter section of the oratorio. So since we're halfway between Christmas and Easter, we're presenting our version of Barton Green's arrangement today. The players recorded their parts individually without hearing anyone else playing while they recorded in the Upbeat Music app. We hope you'll enjoy this virtual performance of the Hallelujah Chorus. Indeed, hallelujah, the pandemic may be coming to an end soon. Our second guest today is a marvelous soprano, and she was one of our 7 featured soloists for our special performance of music from Les Miserables in May 2019. Please join me in welcoming Jennifer Tapice.
Hi, Kurt.
Hey, Jen, so good to have you today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for spending this time. And can you tell us a little bit about your experience singing with the band?
Oh, it's a great experience. I hadn't sung in this way with an orchestra or a, wind ensemble in so many years. And my friend, Tim Allport, sent me the audition notice and said, Jen, I think you should try this. And I thought, all right, I guess I'll try. And then the day of the audition, I really almost backed out. I was very, very nervous, but glad I went. And it was just a wonderful experience with you and Barton and the other members of the audition panel. And you put me at ease. I hadn't auditioned for anything in years, and was very surprised and excited to have been selected. So it was really a great experience, and everyone was so kind, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, it was wonderful meeting you and having you. We knew that from the day you auditioned that it was a great match, and for all of the people who auditioned, we were sorry we couldn't take everybody, but we are certainly glad that we could take you.
Thank you.
And I remember that on the day of the performance, we had that glitch. John Anthony Gomez, who was supposed to sing our Jean Valjean numbers, took ill early that morning, and we had to find another tenor in 6 hours?
Yeah.
And luckily, well, you can tell this part of the story.
Yeah, Emily, our mezzo, was working in another production with another tenor and asked him if he would bail us out, and he graciously, stepped in to fill in for our tenor. So it worked out. It was to the wire. The audience had no idea.
Down to the wire is exactly it. Yes. And Bjorn Olson, who we saw earlier, the music hall executive director, was also one of the soloists. So it was a real family affair that day.
It was. Yeah.
So let's take a look at the opening of that medley. We have not released this video yet. And so we're going to play from the beginning through your solo, I Dreamed a Dream. And just so that everyone knows, Jen is the soloist at the far left of the video. Yeah, it was a very emotional performance, and you certainly contributed immensely to that energy, Jen.
Thank you, Kurt.
Is there anything else you'd like to share, reflecting on back on that performance?
It was really it was really an emotional day for me because my family came, some of my family, my brother, and my dad from upstate. He lives north of Potsdam, and my dad's a cancer patient, and he drove himself all the way down here to see me sing. And to see my dad in the second row again for the first time in so many years, it meant the world to me. It really was great.
Well, the band loved hearing you, as well as the other 6 soloists. We were chatting yesterday after our dress rehearsal of this webcast, and a number of the members on the committee mentioned that there were very few dry eyes on stage in addition to out in the house. So I think we all shared that. The video of the entire medley is going to be added to our YouTube channel next month in March. So the entire medley is going to be up there, and that's going to soon be released. So we hope you'll want to log into our YouTube channel and catch that.
That'd be great.
So thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks.
And I really hope we get to collaborate again in the future, Jen.
Me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're coming up on the end of our hour here, and we have closed the bids in our blind auction. And so it's time to announce the winners. So let's bring Jack back on here. And Jack, I'm going to ask a favor here.
Okay.
We've had multiple bids, and actually some people bidding more than once.
Can I ask you something quick?
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure they're not my mother?
No.
Okay.
Not your mother. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So the real people that would really want a lesson, maybe.
But we had double digits bids, which is great. And what we'd like to do is award a 5th lesson, if that's okay with you.
Perfect.
Great.
Great.
So our winners today are Bob Bennett, Ian Weiss, Kelly Oram, Teddy Diamond, and Barton Green. And so we will be in touch with each of you to talk about sending us the payments, and then we will put you and Jack in touch so you can have your lesson. We thank you all, in addition to everyone else who bid on the auction today. Thank you so much.
And I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Jack, for that. We really appreciate it. So we're coming to the end here. We really appreciate that you spent your afternoon with us on this cold February Sunday afternoon. We hope you will consider visiting our website again at www.westchestersymphonic.org, clicking that PayPal button to make a donation to our ensemble, remembering that today's proceeds will be shared with the Tarrytown Music Hall and the Community Food Pantry of Sleepy Hollow and Tarrytown. I want to thank our amazing producer, Eric Milkey, our webcast committee, including Tim Alport, Rich Dashnaw, Marge Hone, Dave Marcioni, and Jennifer Plummer, and our board and member players for supporting this event today. We all look forward to the opportunity to perform for you live once again very soon. Our next scheduled concert is Saturday, May 8th at 8 o'clock in the Music Hall in Tarrytown, followed by our 4th of July performance at Carramore Music Center on Sunday, July 4th at 4 p.m. Please watch your email inbox and our website for further news and developments as we move through the end of the pandemic toward these performances. And lastly, as we close by honoring our member players, guests, and sponsors, we hope you'll enjoy our performance of this classic from our 4th of July performance at Carramore in 2016. Once again, I'm Kurt Ebersole. Thank you for joining us today. You're still here? It's over. Go home.